Hello everyone, Sheik here with another Transformers review, and today I'll be reviewing the Transformers Studio Series Voyager class Sentinel Prime. I pre-ordered him way back when they first went on pre-order because he looks really cool. And I did get him a while back, but with the backlog, I finally got around to reviewing him. Sentinel Prime. Probably the most vile character in this entire movie, except for maybe the Quintessons. They're really messed up, but he is the most treacherous character ever, at least in that movie, in that continuity. He is really cool. He is Voyager class, so he's pretty large in size, which kind of makes sense given his stature in the movie and all that. He looks really cool. I do like the colors. He doesn't necessarily look as shiny as he did in the movie, but that's also because, you know, everything in that case, everything would be like chrome or like 100% painted, and it would just probably be so expensive to make. I wish they didn't stop putting these backdrops in with the Studio Series figures, as I only have the deluxe one from the Bumblebee, I think it is, but since they stopped putting them, now I have a deluxe class backdrop for a Voyager class figure. Anyway, he is very well detailed. I love that head sculpt. It's so good. It looks so nice, so accurate to the movie. I will say the biggest gripe I do have though is the shield, how it doesn't have any other colors. It's just that solid pink. But then again, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, so I don't know. Maybe it was a full energy shield and it didn't have any golden metal on it, but that would have been nice. His guns are done in just solid gray plastic. There's nothing too special about those, although they do plug into the shield, which is pretty cool. And that's part of getting him into his other super robot mode, or whatever you want to call it, or his powered up Prime mode, because obviously he had Megatronus Prime's TCOG. But he looks pretty impressive. I will say his wings are pretty large. Maybe a little too big. I think they folded up a bit more in the movie, but then again, it's been a while since I've seen it, so I don't know how big his wings were. And for comparison, we have the original release, which I thought was pretty decent. I mean, it's okay, but in comparison to him, though, it's well, let's just say it doesn't have very many redeeming qualities, I guess. In comparison, not to say that this is an inherently bad figure, it's just pales in comparison to this version. And the head on this guy, it wasn't as accurate either, but look at how much they differ in size. Like, he is just so small. Now evidently, I guess his heels don't provide as much support as his provide a lot of support, and he just keeps falling over. That's a kind of annoying, but I guess that is one thing that this one has better, is that he stands up better. Downside, he can't hold his guns at all, and that's a little unfortunate. Here we have Orion Pax, as I guess more like Optimus Prime. They call him Orion Pax, which makes you wonder, how much larger is the leader class version of this guy? I really want to get him, but if it's not that much bigger than him, although I might not really want to get him, but then again, he does have the Orion Pax face, if I remember right, where you can flip it back and forth, or at the very least, Optimus without his face plate on. And I mean, anyway, but enough about that. But they look pretty nice together. I'd say they're probably in fairly decent scale with each other. And then Megatron, or do you want? I will say his face, to me, didn't seem to match up with the way it looked in the movie, in my opinion. And the design, as people have pointed out, looks a bit off from, like, they mixed up a little things for the design in the movie. I will say I have a little bit of a hard time believing that this guy ripped him in half when he's this much smaller, but then again, that was before he got the Megatronus's T-Cog from Sentinel, so I guess he might have been about this size and then just, you know, did that, pull the 2007 Megatron Jazz move on Sentinel. And then I guess one last comparison. Here and there goes Megatron falling right into the trash can. And here we have B127, aka Bumblebee. And that's how they all look together. I really am looking forward to the other ones that they're going to release for Alpha Trion and Arachnid. I'm definitely really looking forward to those. And I'm not sure where else they're going to go with the Transformers 1 toy line. There's a bunch of characters that they could do, even if they were somewhat minor. Anyway, yeah, that's about it for that. So let's go ahead and take off his shield. So his articulation, the head is, I'm not exactly sure what it's on. I think it's like on a mushroom and a pivot. And then you can, I think you can pretty much get a full 360 there. It's really difficult to do so. You can look up and down a bit, but it does look a bit weird because of the built-in faceplate. But hey, it works. As long as you don't have him looking up too far, because then he looks like he has a super thick neck. Arms go out that far. Can do a full 360. Man, that's a bit loose. Bicep rotation. Arms go out that far. Let's see. Oh, that's actually quite surprising. No wrist rotation. That is quite surprising, but maybe it's because of the transformation with the arms, although I don't see why they couldn't give him a wrist rotation, even given that. Waist rotation. It's a little bit of that. Can do the full splits. Legs can go forward that far. Back that far. I guess knee rotation, not really thigh rotation. About a little less than 90 degree bend at the knees, and lots of ankle tiltage. And I do like the feet and the way they are designed. It just looks so clean. Although he is, as you saw earlier, a bit unstable in his robot mode. Yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and get him transformed into his super mode. So first thing I want to do, I guess, is flip out the mask, flip up, rotate and close up, flip out, rotate, close up. And then it doesn't matter necessarily which arm you do it on. You can even do it on both if you want to, but it's supposed to be, I guess, like a booster gun thing, because that's a thruster like in vehicle mode. And then let's plug that back on. That's one of the reasons it says this mode is supposed to have the guns on the shield like that. And then you flip out these little rocket launchers. Oh, come on, without popping them off, ideally. And then you flip out the heels. Flip out, and then you have him in his powered up mode, and it looks pretty cool. But the downside is, unless you just want to put the boosters away and have his feet out, the only way to really properly display this guy would be to get a stand that uses those ports. I really need to look into getting some of those stands. I'm just haven't gotten around to it yet, and then I could have some Transformers in flight, and that would be pretty nice. Okay, so I'm gonna start off transformation from here. So here we have Sentinel Prime in his jet mode, and it looks pretty cool. I think as far as Cybertronian jet modes go, it's pretty cool. I wouldn't say it's necessarily my favorite one of all time, but man, does that look sleek. It looks pretty cool. I think my biggest gripe, other than, okay, I will say Transformers 1, the reason why I give it a pass on this because it's, Cybertronian. It's before they got to Earth or anything like that, so I give it a pass for, pretty much visible everything. But you can see his crotch, legs, arms, shoulders, back of his head, pretty much everything. It's just like he kind of scrunches up and then the jet unfolds around him. Not exactly like a shell per se, maybe a little bit like a shell, but it still looks really cool. Even with all that, it still looks really cool. And then obviously for vehicle mode, if you want to put his weapons on, there is weapon storage. You can put the shield on right here, and it looks decent enough, but I prefer to keep it off. The only thing that I like to really keep on him in his jet mode is his guns, which tab in like so. And then you have a fighter jet rather than just a sporty looking jet. And for comparison, here we have the original release version. And while it's okay, it's just not as clean looking, not as sleek. And then from the back, there's not really thrusters, it's just the back of his body, whereas here you have clear thrusters. One last thing I forgot to point out, and it's a real nitpick, really big obvious thing that I somehow missed, but he had swords in this movie, but they didn't include them, and they were a big part of his character and that he used to murder Alpha Trion with, so it's sort of like, how can you not include those cool looking swords? Anyway, that's my final gripe with this guy. So that's about it for Transformers 1 Studio Series Voyager Class Sentinel Prime. He is overall a really good figure, although he does have some stability issues in robot mode, but I think they did a good job of bringing him off the big screen and into our hands. I definitely recommend this guy, especially if you like the character at all, and if you never got a hold of the original one. And if you like this review and you'd like to see more, please click that like and subscribe button to see more. And until next time, have a good one, everyone.